Okay, in this video, if you want to take your Google slideshow, aka PowerPoint, to the next level, you can do some really cool things with transitions. Now, I only recommend doing this after you've done your research, you have everything typed out. Don't play around with transitions unless you have everything typed out, or you could get caught up with that and this is one of the last things you do. You have to have everything typed up or it won't work. So it makes it a little bit fun, especially when you're presenting it. So a lot of you have seen my slideshows. I have transitions, so all the words aren't up at the same time. So it really allows your audience to hone in and focus what you're actually saying and what you want them to see without looking ahead. So here I have a simple slide. It says adding transitions. Right now on this slide, I have two text boxes. I have a title text box and I have subtitles and I have an image. So here's my image. I actually have three things I can make come in and time it with this. So what I want to do here is, again, I'm going to go to the range slide. I'm going to go to the slide, scratch that, and where it says change transition, hopefully it doesn't kick you off here. You can let me make the screen a little bit bigger here if it allows me to. There we go. um, it will pop up on the side right here. And right now it says no transitions. Well, right now I don't have anything selected. So this transition up here is the slides between. So between these slides, what is it going to do? So I can get it down here now. I got to select an object to animate first. So let me select this. And here it goes. Okay, so if I want this to come in first, I want it to come in without I want it to come in blank first. So I'm going to add this first, and I can select fade in, fade out, fly in from the left, which I usually like to do because then it comes flying in from the left, fly in from the right. And you can see all the options. I'm not going to read them all to you. So fly in from the left, I select that. And it's ready to go. You can check it out here and you can play it and they'll show you exactly what it will do on the click somehow. And there it is. So that's just a test that you could stop it. I didn't do anything with this image or this subtitle, so they're going to be there until I transition them. So here, if I want to add animation here, I can go, okay, I want it to zoom in. Don't put zoom out because you're transitioning in. If you want to make it go away, then you hit where it says out, fade out, fly out, and so forth. I'm going to zoom it in, that one. And so far this image I haven't done anything, so I can play. So this will be here, and then I can go ahead and click. And so when I click, those will come up. Now if I want to stop the transition, I can, hey, I want this image to appear too, and I can add that animation maybe into a little appear, just to appear. And I can make that go fast, medium, as it shows you about 2.5 seconds, or slow, and so forth. Okay, so I can play it to see. Now nothing's going to show up until I actually click on it. So here's my adding transition, so I could talk about that. And when I'm done talking about that, I can click here and that zooms in. And next, we're going to go with my Google images. Now they're all in. Okay, let's say I want to get them out. Let's say, okay, I want them to go away. I can do this. I can transition them all. I can select all of them at one time if I wanted to. And I could say, okay, go away. So instead of putting fade in, I could go fly out from the left. And I have to change these down here too. I learned about that just this weekend. So fly out. Oh, that says fly in. You want to make sure you're all on fly out. And it will say with previous, that's good. And then this one is a fade in. You have to make sure they're all on fly out. So even if it's fade out, there we go. So now that they should all fade out, I selected them all at once. You could do them individually if you wanted to. And I'll show you how to do that in the next one. So now they're all in, and now they're all out. Simple as that. And then we could go here. You definitely don't have to do that if you don't want to, but that is just an extra twists you could do, and you could play around with it. So you want to make sure your research is done before you do that. Keeping going with this theme, I'm going to show you how to add lines in at a time if you wanted to. I showed you in an earlier video how to insert text boxes, and if you want different lines to appear at different times, you have to insert different text boxes. It won't work if it's all under one text box. So right here, this is all going to come in at one time. So if I go testing 10, 11, and 12, I'm not going to be able to do these separate transitions. They're going to come in on the same transition. So if I want testing 10, 11, and 12 to come in differently than 7, 8, 9, I'm going to have to go up here and hit insert text box and get my perpendicular lines and then put it in a different text box. 10, 11, 12. And that's kind of different than the old PowerPoint. The old PowerPoint, you could do that word for word in the same textbooks. You could even do letter by letter. You can't do that. At least I haven't figured out how to do it with the Google Slides. All right. So again, we can move these around. And sometimes it's nice when I'm in the transition mode that I am leaving this box here. Right now I don't have anything selected. So I can go, okay, I'm going to select it. I want my title just to be there. I don't want to add a transition, so I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to put a transition in it. I want it to be there when I click on the slide. So testing 1, 2, 3, I'm going to add an animation. And I'm going to have it. Remember, you want to do all fly-ins. You don't want to put fly out or it's going to go away. So I want to make sure if it's coming in for the first time, I'm going to do an in thing. There's a fade in. Then I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to add animation. And right now I'm going to go, okay, let's fly in from the top. That's good. Select the other one. Let's add an animation. You don't want to make it too busy. I'm just showing you different things. And I want it to zoom in. And then the next one, I'm going to add an animation. And I'm going to say, okay, fly in from the right. And they're all going to come in, and you can test it out if you want to. Remember, I said originally this was going to stay here. I didn't add a transition, so it's just going to pop up. So I start talking. I talk about the first line, and I talk about it, and I want my audience just to focus in on what I'm saying in the first line. Then when I'm ready, I click and I go to the second line, and that just dropped in because it's flying in from the top. And there's my third line, and finally there's my fourth line, and they all came in. They're all in right now, so that's a good deal. Let's say I want them in a different order, and I'm like, okay, I don't like the order. I want the testing 10, 11, 12 to come in second. So then I just have to take it. You can kind of see what they are right here, and you can move it. So now that's going to come in second if I want to do it. Again, this is gonna, so we're gonna jump all the way to the bottom, and then we're gonna go here. So you can get it to do lots of different things. If you want them all to come out now, I showed you how to do them all out at one time. And it gets a little messy here, I'm just going to warn you, and it's hard to keep track of. But you can definitely do that. So I want this guy to go out first. I'm going to add animation, and now sometimes you have to scroll down here a little bit if you want to do that. So I'm going to add the animation, and I'm going to hit, I don't think I have it even over enough. Add animation, and I'm zooming in and I'm zooming out. So instead of having zoom in, you can actually click it and you can fade it out and it will go away. And then I could maybe highlight here, and I could add the animation, and instead of fading in, and I'm going one at a time, I could go, make sure you're selecting out again. I can go fly out. I'm going to have it fly out from the top. And this one, I'm going to add an animation, and I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to have it disappear because that's going away. And then finally, I'm going to add an animation, and I'm going to have this one zoom out. I don't think I've done that. And they're all coming at different times. So let's play it, see what it looks like. They're all going to come in at first. There's one. One that stayed in because I took the transition out. And that one's just popping in. And now they're going to go away. There you see how we did that. So if any time you think it doesn't look good and you want to, we got to stop this, you could actually click on them and get rid of them if you wanted to. Um, and there's a little X here, so I could take that one out. I could take this one out, and it will highlight over here so you know what you're taking out. Fade in, and I could maybe start all over if I wanted to, if I didn't like that, because I didn't like that. It wasn't what I was looking for. So you don't have to panic. You can easily select them and get rid of them. So right now they're all flying in or fading in, so we check that one. It's probably a little bit better. For some reason 7, 8, 9 isn't doing anything. So I learned that, so I can go, okay, I don't have this doing anything, and that needs to come in somehow. So it's going to fly in from the left. So let's see if I fix that. Yeah, now it's gone. So you see they'll all come in at some point in time, and they're all in. I don't have them all flying out, and I'm not going to show you that again, but you can see you can play around with that a lot. The last thing you can do is you can transition between slides. So again, I'm going to move my camera over here. You can kind of see in between slides I can have something really cool going on there if I want to, by hitting the slide. It says no transition. I could go down here and I could go, I'm going to have a cube. I like the cube. I could apply it to all slides. I could go fast. This one's over here. It says fast. I could go medium. I could go slow. I like just saying fast, because the medium is definitely too slow. And I'm not going to apply it to all slides because I like to do different things. So I could hit this slide here and I can go, there's no transition. I'm going to have it slide to the right. So then when I go into my presentation and I practice this a little bit and I'm going to view my presenting mode, you'll see what happens a little bit here, and you can see how it cubes. Okay. So that is a little bit about Google slide animations, and it's something that you should do fast. I know it was really long, 12 minutes. So if you stuck with this, good job.